Hey everyone, it is Wellness Wednesday. It's Coach Martha, and I know that you look forward to these, and I look forward to doing these as well. A lot of times it's just quick, easy tips, but today I'm going to challenge you to stick with me and dig a little bit deeper. I want you to think of this. If you're here struggling with a block in your life, whether that's losing weight or struggling with a block in another area of your life, I want you to follow me here because today could truly change the trajectory of your life. So follow me. Are you ready? Here we go. Wellness Wednesday. Sometimes between the age of 0 and 6, something traumatic happens in your life. I was recently asked this question, Martha, what happened to you between the ages of 0 and 6 that caused you to have 30 plus years of fighting the weight, roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I said to this person, I can't remember anything specifically that happened between the ages of 0 and 6, but at the age of 9, this is when it all started for me. Follow me here. At the age of 9, I was in 4th grade. I was 4'11", very tall. I was taller than any girl and any boy in the class. And I vividly remember standing by our classroom door, and the boy behind me, named Brian, said to me, Big Bertha. He called me Big Bertha. I will never forget that day, never. And that mentality of Big Bertha went into my heart. It was like a seed was dropped in my heart that day. And from that day on, I manifested. Follow me here. I manifested Big Bertha. That very moment was so defining for me that for the next 30 years, I fought daily feelings of feeling fat and overweight. And what's so sad, and I know if you're a woman, you're probably like me, I just got a picture from my brother-in-law probably a couple weeks ago of me in 4th grade. It was hilarious. It was so ironic, perfect timing. And I was this big. I was lean. It took me almost 40 years to realize that Brian in 4th grade was calling me Big Bertha, not because I was fat, but because I was the tallest one. But that Big Bertha mentality manifested in me for 40 years. So I was on this roller coaster of up and down weight because that day when I came home from school, I remember bawling my eyes out to my father, who was 6'8" and had one arm. And that's a story for another day. But he said to me, Marth, at least you have 2 arms. Not quite the empathy that I probably needed at the moment, but that's okay. I never blame my parents for anything. But from that young age of 9, I manifested the Big Bertha mentality and I lived it out. And so that followed me because I was on a diet since the age of 9 through middle school, through high school. And when I wasn't on a diet, my mentality was that I was bad. Diet's good, not on diet was bad. Are you with me? That also led into my college years and my first marriage. And so everything that I accepted from other people, comments that they would say to me about my body when I was heavy, comments that they would say to me when I was small, everything fed into this Big Bertha label that I carried for 41 years. If you think about why you were blocked today, and I'm going to use weight loss as an example, why you are feeling blocked with your weight loss, you've got to realize that the weight issue is like the tip of the iceberg. It is a symptom of everything else underneath the water, which are your emotions and the scarring that happened likely for you somewhere in your childhood. If you are like me and you have struggled with your weight for decades, up and down, up and down, up and down, and when you're on a diet, you felt like you were doing the right thing, but when you're off the diet, you felt like a bad person. You probably have picked up little things that people have said to you as you were growing up. You received them, you soaked them up, and you manifested this false perception of yourself. I was not Big Bertha. I was just super tall. And why? Brian called me that in 4th grade. And I received it and tucked it in my heart as a truth for 41 years is insane. My dear friend, whatever you're struggling with today, and again, I'm going to use weight loss because we've all been there or we all are there. Whatever you're struggling with today, let me just encourage you to go back for a moment. How did you get here? What was said to you at a very young age that you tucked in your heart? What false perceptions do you have about yourself? What one phrase or a couple of phrases did someone say to you that now you have manifested for decades? If you can identify that, then the healing can begin. If you can identify perhaps that moment of trauma as a young child, then the healing can begin, because you can realize, just like I realized a couple weeks ago, yeah, it's taken me 41 years. I realized I'm not Big Bertha. I never was Big Bertha. But somehow as a very young child, I picked that up and I carried that for 41 years. So here's your action step today. If you're at a weight loss plateau, if you are that person, hello, we can all raise our hands to this. If you're that person who has gone up and down and up and down and up and down on the scale, sweet friend, you've got to do some backtracking and figure out what happened, I'm serious, as a child, and deal with those feelings. If someone called you a name, if someone wronged you, if someone was abusive to you, you've got to go back and address those issues, because whatever they did to you or said to you, they are projecting their own insecurities and fears on you. If I look back, because I was this big in 4th grade, Brian, the butthead behind me, he was probably jealous that I was taller than him. Yeah. Going into my first marriage, my first husband projected his own weight issues and being embarrassed by his mother's weight issues onto me. And I accepted it all because underneath it all, I was Big Bertha. You are not who you've defined yourself as. Sweet friend, go back and address that. Figure that out. Once you deal with that and realize you are not that person that someone told you you are, that is when the healing will begin and the weight loss will fall off of you and you will no longer have a block in your life. Bye, you guys.